I'm Gail Kilborn from the SFT, Spirituality Formation Team, and I have Kathy Fanger here with me this afternoon. Thank you, Kathy, for agreeing to talk to us about your time here at Queen of the Apostles and just about you. Thank you. Would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I have been a member of Queen of Apostles since 1990, and Queen of Apostles is my life in addition to my family. Many of you know our very, very dear, beloved friend, Father Jim Mifsud. Yeah. And if I were to highlight 5 people on my fingers that had the most influence of my life, Father Jim would be one of them. With the way he imparted to me God's incredible love of me and all of us, that somehow, somewhere, during any week from Sunday to Sunday, somebody's going to need me. Will I be there to notice that and listen to them and help them? And Father also said Queen of Apostles is our home. And over the last many decades, Queen of Apostles truly has become my beloved home and my beloved friends and parishioners and place where I serve. So a little bit about myself. I was born in Waterbury, Connecticut, and I lived in New Jersey most of my life. And when I was a teenager, I met the Marianist order. That's the order that Father Jim and so many of the Marianists that have served us are from. And I met the Marianist sisters at a retreat center for families and teenagers and college kids. And I got to love that center so much that I worked down there on staff. And then the Lord called me to consider becoming a Marianist sister myself. Many of you may not know that, but I was in religious life for about 3 years. I never took vows, but I loved being in religious life and I loved being a Marianist. But the Lord called me on from there. So I moved from the mother house in San Antonio, Texas, with girlfriends who were from Queen of Apostles, believe it or not, so, to this area, and excuse me, and became part of the MIDI Marianist Sunday community. And there I met my husband, Frank, who, lo and behold, had also left Marianist religious life after being a brother for 18 years. So we met at church, and 2 years later became married. So Frank and I have been married for 36 years and very happily. And we were able to have one son, Brian, who is 29 and lives locally. So we're really happy about that.
God moves in wonderful ways, connecting those Marianists. Father Jim, you.
Exactly.
You've told us that Queen of Apostles is your family. What ministries have you done at Queen of Apostles, and what do you do in the parish? Will you give us a little bit of insight?
Well, when Frank and I first joined Queen of Apostles, we really wanted to be involved with young family groups because we had just had our infant, Brian. So we joined CFM, Christian Family Movement, right away and became part of their faith sharing group. And then I also, if you roll the clock back, there was a 7 p.m. Sunday night mass, and we did babysitting in Geary Hall on a cyclical basis so that parents could go to mass without their little ones, and I was involved in that. And then Pat Soria invited me to teach first grade on Sundays, which I gladly did and had so much delight in doing for 20 years. I became a full-time second grade teacher at St. Leo the Great doing sacraments, but I very much relished my time at Queen of Apostles teaching the little children. And since then, I was invited, you know, a lot of this ministry is all about invitation. So I was invited to be a lector. I was invited to be a sacristan, and that has really enriched my faith experience and my service experience. So as a sacristan, it's really important to me to get the children involved. So, and families involved that have never brought up the gifts. So I'm always alert to inviting new people and inviting the children to bring up the book of prayers or to bring up the bread and the wine and affirm them. So the other ministries, I've been very involved in the social justice ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've taken the Renew, and faith sharing groups.
Right.
I work at Catholic cemeteries in the Diocese of San Jose, and because I'm involved in end of life, I have been part of our grief support group with Shirley Russo, and that has meant a lot to me to accompany people who are grieving in a confidential, loving, supportive, faith-based sharing. The other group that I joined just a couple of years ago, as I think I'm 48 all the time, and believe me, but anyway, I joined the Ladies Guild, and I have to tell you, these ladies are some of the dearest friends I have in my life and in my parish. We are supportive of each other in our own personal lives, in our faith lives. We do special spiritual and cultural outings. And just recently, when my father died at 92 in New Jersey about a month ago, I cannot even tell you the outpouring of love and cards and masses that I received from these ladies who are so very special to me. So, and then the other thing is that, as other groups reach out for assistance through our parish, Grateful Garment and Knights of Columbus and the Boy Scouts, Frank and I are always there to support those efforts. I have found with great joy and humility that our parishioners are so very generous, our young people, as well as our individual single people and families, and they encourage me to be more generous with my time, treasure, and talents, because I see that around me.
Queen of Apostles is very lucky to have you as a parishioner, as part of our family. We've been going through this pandemic. How has it changed what you're doing? How's it affected your faith?
Well, the pandemic has been very difficult for me. I am a very extroverted person from the word go. So the whole idea of shelter in place, I have to force myself to stay home. So I'm trying to oblige myself to the county and diocesan and health guidelines. And so what's happened is that my sister Eileen has told me, Kathy, there's a lot of silver linings in this pandemic. So what's happened to me is, thank goodness for technology, really, that we are able on a Sunday or any day of the week to tap in and live stream and watch recordings of masses, to zoom into parish meetings. I'm part of a study of Matthew that Father Athanasius and Christy Manning started pre-pandemic. And because of Zoom, we continue to meet, support each other in learning about the gospel that we're going through right now. I've been able to Zoom with my RCIA group. I have 4 adults, and it's been exciting to journey with them, not only pre-pandemic, but post-pandemic, and watch them as they patiently await when they could receive the sacraments, which they all did, and I was there for. And that was my first experience of coming back to church and being able to receive Eucharist with them. So the other thing that sounds kind of weird is that in my extroverted personality and loving to be with Conrad Zanato every Sunday morning, greeting parishioners coming in and out of church between all the other activities I do on a Sunday, I've greatly missed that.
Yes.
I've just missed my friends that go to all the different masses and welcoming new people and being part of that. But I think each one of us missed that. And I just want to emphasize that hospitality should be the trademark of our church community, that that we really be alert to those around us that are new, and not always sit with our friends and talk with our friends. Because that's what makes people come back, is because they've been greeted and spoken to and involved. So I miss that from a pandemic point of view. But I'm also grateful that as technology has advanced it themselves, like I said, a while ago, we could have never done this Zooming. I mean, our Ladies Guild meets on Zoom.
Right.
And that's just really good. The other thing is that, the churches and the guidelines, even just for healthy relationships, call us to think of connecting with other people. So I've really made an effort to think of the people I know in the parish and make a couple of phone calls every day and just chat, because I find that not only do I feel that it might lift their spirits, but believe me, when I get off the phone, my spirits are lifted just by making that connection.
Well, Kathy, thank you for talking to us this afternoon. It sounds like you've made Queen of Apostles your home, and hopefully all of us will get to be able to come back home with you soon.
Thank you. I just have one last story, if I may.
Sure, absolutely.
One of my dearest friends at church is Marge Hatfield. And, excuse me, there's my alarm. Is Marge Hatfield, who many of you know. She was just 105. And in my greeting parishioners in and out with Conrad in the morning, I watch Marge Hatfield scooch along quickly with her walker and come to church. And I always tell Marge, I just want to be like you when I grow up. So as I watch Marge actively involved and loving our worshiping and friendship community, I predict that you will see me in a walker one day.
Thanks, Kathy.
Maybe not. Skipping and coming down to sit into the first row and worship with my family.
I'll look forward to sitting right next to you.
Thank you.
Bye.